What if your whole life you had access to an inheritance you never knew you had? Hi, welcome to 5 Minute Fika, where we find the time to do a little self-care of the soul by thinking about true and beautiful things. So this one time I was in Tanzania, in Africa, and I was in this field of sunflowers. They were very tall sunflowers. And for the first time, someone had just explained to me the idea, and there's a word for it, and for the life of me, I can't remember the word, but it's that moment at dusk where the sky kind of gets darker and darker and darker, and everything turns like a deep blue, and there's no colors anymore. Everything kind of gets black and white. It's almost like Schnitte, a German art, where they take profiles and they cut someone's profile, or they cut the profile of a house out of black construction paper and they put it against a white background, and the whole world kind of gets like Schnitte. The colors sort of disappear, and it's this beautiful time of dusk where all you see are the outlines. And I remember standing in this field of sunflowers, and they were taller than me, and I could just see the edges of them against the sky as the sky got darker and darker and darker until it was finally black, and there was nothing but stars, huge stars overhead. And it was this beautiful moment. And my whole life I had been living, seeing dusk happen like that, and never thought to enjoy it. I never thought to notice it until somebody mentioned it to me. Ever since then, I pay attention. I pay attention at dusk. I love to sit outside, especially when it's cold. I'll go out in the winter and I'll wrap up in a blanket and I'll have a cup of hot tea and I'll sit on my back porch and I'll watch as the sky gets darker and darker and bluer until there's just the trees are Schnitte against the sky. And I think it's interesting because we forget that as humans, we receive this inheritance of this beautiful world that we live in. There are all sorts of experiences that we can have that are free. The richness of sitting at dusk is something that no matter how much you have or how much you don't have, you can still enjoy it. You can still take that moment to soak it in and say, wow, this moment is really beautiful. So it's funny, I know someone who told me that she once took a trip to Puerto Rico, and she saw this huge billboard, and on the it was a tourism billboard, and it said WTF really huge on the top, and she was like, arr! But then she looked at the bottom and it stood for, wow, that's fantastic. And I've always thought about that. I love it. And I think we need those wow, that's fantastic moments in our lives. Moments that are free, that nobody can take from us, that are our inheritance as humans. These rich, rich experiences that we all have access to, that can determine whether we feel like our lives are filled with richness or whether we're always feeling like we don't have enough. You can choose to enjoy life right now. No matter what you have or what you don't have, you can choose to take the things that you do have and let them make you happy. And the truth of the matter is, life is not always easy for people who have a lot and for people who don't have a lot. Life is hard. It just is. It's difficult. It's not easy for anyone to get through. People may have different circumstances that are causing problems, but we all have problems. If life is always good and comfortable and you never have problems, then you don't need hope. Hope is believing that the future can be good. It's sitting in the dusk and watching it get darker and darker and darker, and having the freedom to enjoy that darkness because you know that the sun is going to rise again the next day. There is going to be another light. There is going to be another time of beauty. And when we take the time to soak in these, wow, that's fantastic moments, they give us strength and they give us joy to get through the difficult times, to get through the hard times. They're what give us zest. Zest is being able to enjoy those moments and say, even if everything is terrible, I'm going to take 10 minutes tonight to sit and watch the sky get dark, to watch the trees become Schnitte, because it's free. It's free, and nobody can take it away from me except for me. It's my inheritance as a human on this planet. I have inherited this incredibly beautiful world. You know, I go running in a forest, and in the summer, it feels like there's a million shades of green and this extravagance of greenery and the sun coming through and the different shades of green as it dapples in different parts of the trees and different parts of the bushes and different parts of the forest. It's just gorgeous, but I would miss it if I wasn't out running in the forest. We have this inheritance that is ours if we choose to take it. And that can transform how we see our lives and how we live our lives and what we feel like we have. Look, you can always find a reason to hate your life. And you can always find a reason to love your life. The choice is up to you. No one can accept this inheritance of your life except for you. Your life is filled with, wow, that's fantastic moments. Are you paying attention? Have you seen them? Are you collecting them? There's more richness to your life than you may realize. Life is hard and there are difficult things. That is true. But that doesn't stop the fact that we live in this amazing world. And it is good to be alive. And we are not in this alone. And you, my darling, are spectacular. Have a great day.